Greetings, Clashers everywhere. This is Galadon, and you are tuned in to episode 71 of Clash of Clans Attacks, a special You're Not Alone in Fail episode. Now, if you play Clash of Clans, and I'm assuming since you're watching this video you do, then no doubt you've seen this screen and this ugly, ugly word. But therein lies the good news, and that is that everyone else has too. If you've played this game long enough, and it doesn't take very long, you've experienced a defeat. And so have the very, very best players in the game, the guys at the top of the leaderboards. And that's what this video is about. We're not here to embarrass them, we're just here to show that everybody's human and everybody loses. Just unfortunately for these attackers, they lost to me. And this attack we're looking at here was actually a go wee wee go wipe hybrid. There's 3 witches and 1 PEKKA in this attack. And as you can see here at the beginning of the attack, he's using a whole bunch of wall breakers to try to get the king and the queen out of the middle there. And that could prove costly later because that's a lot of wall breakers that you're going to need against those level 11 walls. But he does effectively get the king and the queen out, completes the royal lure, and eradicates them. And now here comes the main part of the attack. The first 2 golems are down. The remaining troops from the royal lure are following. Here comes some wall breakers. Now notice he's using 5 wall breakers at a time here. It's an awful lot of wall breakers to get through a level 11 wall. A little insurance. But also as we freeze it here, notice that there's 2 golems that are going to be on top of each other on the right hand side here. And only 1 opening that they're both going to go in here. Again, 5 more wall breakers go through that wall. And then another group of, it looks like 4 or 5 wall breakers go through that 3rd layer of wall. Now we as the viewers have the luxury of looking back and Monday morning quarterbacking this replay. And looking at it, I think that a better angle of attack for this type of layout would be to come from, say, directly on the right here, following the black arrow. If you use 3 sets of wall breakers, then the 3rd set is going to break into that innermost wall there where the crossbow is. And you'll use your supporting wizards on either side of that corner to help clear those surrounding structures. You're probably a lot more likely to get in towards the center of this base. But our attacker is pretty committed here, so here comes his last PEKKA, the king and the queen coming down with some surrounding structures still up they're going to have to deal with. Now here comes the clan castle troops, and there's a whole bunch of them. And although there are several factors that cause this attack to be a failure, there was one factor in particular that I think was probably the deciding factor that kept him from getting either the town hall or 50%. So when we ask ourselves, what doomed this attack? I would have to say that it was the clan castle witches. As we look closely at the rest of this attack here, notice the last couple trailing clan castle troops are witches, and they are going to generate a ton of skeletons. They're hiding behind that gold storage there, or at least one is, and that is going to completely stall out the king and the queen here for a long time. Now they're alongside all those defenses, Teslas on their left, Inferno towers and Expos on their right, raining down hellfire and abomination, and by the time that the clan castle witch is gone, so are the heroes, and so are 36 trophies. Alright, let's move on to this next attack replay here. This was actually the successful defense that led me to cross the 4,000 trophy threshold for the first time. And as you can see here, right away things are not going well for this attacker. He had a balloon that was intended to take out that mortar, and it gets taken out itself by an air bomb there. And so now he does not have a clear spot to lure the royals to take them out, so he has to try to adjust his plan of attack. Actually, our attacker hasn't given up on trying to eradicate that mortar. Watch as he drops another wizard down here who gets a shot in before he goes down. Mortar's down to about 30% health now. It's going to drop a whole bunch of barbarians, and there's going to be 1 wizard behind them. And watch how close they come to taking out this mortar. By the time that they're wiped out, there's maybe 5% health left on that mortar. But finally the attacker gives up, alters where he's going to lure the royals to, does it right here, right outside the laboratory, drops the clan castle, the witches start making skeletons, but notice they all went for the lab, and the result is that the king and the queen never quite get completely overrun by the skeletons and the clan castle troops, and eventually they are going to get ahead here, and that leads us to what doomed this attack? You guessed it, a failed royal lure. Now again, there were several things that went wrong here, but this was the primary deciding factor, I'd say. In fact, as the attacker realizes this is a losing battle, he drops his king and his queen and actually activates both of their special abilities right away. And by the time that they've gotten through the defending heroes, the king has already lost a bunch of his health. The queen has gone off to the right, so they're split up. The king doesn't have enough protection and goes down to those defenses. The queen is going to get distracted by the clan castle troops and end up going all the way around to the right here. Now our attacker does make a valiant final effort to try to save at least 1 star and 50% damage, but ends up only at about 42%, which unfortunately means a loss of 37 trophies. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, everybody loses. Both of these attackers were in the top 20 globally at the time of these attacks. That is some serious skill that it takes to get up there. I don't care how many gems you have, you've got to have attacking skill to get that high on the leaderboards. But unfortunately, nobody is flawless, except for maybe Peter $17.
That's right, and it's dollars.
Back in the bathroom. Thanks again for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and we will be back tomorrow with episode 72. Until then, clash on. So close to 20,000. Almost there.